Thanks, Beck, for those lovely words. Look, it's absolutely amazing to be here once again. I'll start by saying my name's Sabina. That's Sabina the miner and not Sabina the ballerina. But going back a little while, I actually was a ballerina for a while, but I think it might have only been one term in grade 5. But I also had a chemistry set. And so the tutu got left in the corner and the chemistry set got worn out. So I guess I was destined to be here in the mining industry rather than up at His Majesty's Theatre as a ballerina. Anyway, so also I'm a Leo. So for those that know anything about star signs, they know that Leos are really proud of their mane. But Leos are also known for being bossy. And as a kid, if you're bossy, it gets you into trouble. But as it turns out, I'm not the only little girl that was known for being bossy. And people will have heard of Sheryl Sandberg, who wrote the book Lean In a couple of years ago. So she's the CEO of Facebook. And Facebook is a very big organisation, and it's not just a way to waste time. And Sheryl, in her book, talks about her brother saying that he and their sister were known as Sheryl's employees number 1 and 2. But what Sheryl says that's really important in that book, amongst other things, is that next time you hear someone calling a little girl bossy, go up to them and smile and say, your little girl isn't bossy, she's got executive leadership skills. So perhaps we need to reframe how we think about girls and bossy and what it means to be an authentic leader. There's lots of things that need to change, and that's why we're here today. What a crowd. We sold out nearly 2 months ago. There's great support from industry in these difficult times. Today, it's challenges, resilience and opportunity. And I think although there are challenges, there are still opportunities out there. And by being resilient, we can rise above those challenges and reach those opportunities. Today, we'll hear from a variety of speakers about each of those topics, and every one of you will get something different from those talks, depending on where you are in your world. There are lots of challenges in the sector at the moment with commodity prices, and there's no need for me to tell you that. But those challenges bring with them stress, and it's really important for us to know how to deal with that. One of the ways that people talk about dealing with stress is mindfulness. And we've got David Mickey talking later this morning about mindfulness. And, for me, there's lots of research that tells you mindfulness can help you with stress and so on. And I've been trying to get my head around it. And I spoke to David a couple of months ago, and I said, I really need to start meditating. And he said, well, we're doing a meditation challenge in September. And I said, September's my busiest month, I can't do it then. And I got off the phone from him and I thought, hang on a minute, you're still just totally wrong. That's exactly when you should be doing it, starting to make these changes and learn new techniques for dealing with things. So I'm really looking forward to hearing what David has to say. And then later on we've got Bob Wood, Professor Bob Wood coming back. So Bob is a Kalgoorlie boy and a football player from his younger days, and now he's an academic in Melbourne, and he's got some really good stuff to share with us. He was here last year and a lot of people went away with lots of good learnings from that. Then this afternoon we've got David Morrison, who used to run the army, and he's going to talk to us about becoming a champion for change. And I think he's going to have some good stories to tell from a very male-dominated workplace, which is the army. And later this afternoon, we've got a couple of people coming that work in the mining industry talking about their work at the Shenton Park Dog Refuge, how they combine flying in and out with volunteering there and what that's given back to them. And that sort of leads me to my next point, the other way, we can deal with stress, or the other way that stress can affect us, and that is with our mental health. So how do I keep mentally healthy? With some great difficulty at times, but the way I've learned is by giving back and being involved in things. It has been very important to me in that journey to staying mentally healthy. So in your bag is a brochure from Act, Belong, Commit. And when we go to morning tea and lunch, there's a booth down there from Act, Belong, Commit. And I just think this is a really good model, Act, Belong, Commit, because it's act, so keep mentally, physically, socially and spiritually active. So it's about being active. Belong, join things, take classes, be involved in groups you might already be involved in, go to community events, or create your own group like WIMWA. Commit, take up a cause, help a neighbour, learn something new, take on a challenge, volunteer, but commit to it, And I just think that, even though people might be busy and they might be whatever, the busy people are the people that can actually help other organisations. But it's just a great model, and I encourage you to have a look at it and think about it and just get involved with other things. So that's really how WIMWA started. So why do we need WIMWA, Women in Mining and Resources WA? It's a male-dominated industry, and it continues to be, and we need to make some progress in that front. WIMWA's been going for 12 years now, and it's really a forum for women in mining and resources. Over the years, we've had more than 100 networking events with, up to 200 odd people at them. This is our 7th annual seminar, and, as I said, we sold it out 2 months ago. We run a mentoring program twice a year. We've put more than 300 mentees through that program. We run a diverse boardroom series where we connect mining company board members with talented women from the industry, from our mentor cohort. And most recently, last year we launched the Resourceful School Speaker program, which is about getting out into the schools and promoting role models. And this is where we need your help. We have many amazing people signed up, ready and willing to speak at schools, but we need to get into the schools. It's not as easy as you might think. So all of you know someone at a school. We need your help to get into those schools and share this message. We've got the speakers ready to go. We just need the contacts to get into the schools properly. After lunch, there'll be a brochure on your table, which will give you some more information about the program. And if you can contact us with contacts you've got at schools, obviously there's some students here from schools, so we've got some contacts there. But we need to get out into the world and share our role models. So overall, many thousands of women have been positively impacted by WIMWA. And positive impacts on these women have a knock-on effect to others in the industry. So all of this is about supporting and promoting women in the industry, getting more women staying longer in the industry, and the longer they're in the industry, the more likely they are to get senior in the industry. Promoting role models and celebrating success, getting people within the industry and outside the industry to see that there are opportunities for both men and women in the industry doing every job that's there. We need to share that story so that aunties and uncles, when they're talking to their nieces, and they'll say, well, I read this story about this woman that was in mining. Have you thought about mining as a career? So, just get it on everyone's agenda. We talk a lot about promoting women in the industry, about promoting diversity, and diversity meaning much more than just gender. And I think we all understand that with diversity, we get diverse thinking, which is more productive and more creative. And there is research that backs this up. Companies and boards with increased diversity have better results. But what is it that we really want? We want inclusive workplaces where all are welcome and feel included, regardless of colour, religion, sexual preferences or gender, or even bad sense of humour. Are we there in the mining industry? I think some companies have got part of the way, but we still have a long way to go. Now, we have this community, WIMWA, and this is a place where we can all make a difference to each other and together to the industry. And I encourage each and every one of you to do that in whatever way you can. In the words of Margaret Mead, a small group of thoughtful people could change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Thank you.